Hi guys and welcome to Angling For You, and today you're joining me at the fantastic Wakefield Angling Club, and I'm with Gary, who's going to today tell you a little bit about what they do here with the juniors and the coaching, and then later in this film we're also going to have a look at them fishing memorial match. So I'm going to hand you over to Gary and he's going to go through everything that you need to know.
Right then, thanks for that. Hi everybody, my name's Gary Hampshire. I'm the match secretary and the junior coach for Wakefield Angling Club. We have about 14 kids registered who come every other Wednesday for in-house coaching sessions in here, and every other Saturday we have cadet and junior matches on our local owned pond, Flantshire Dam. We're going to do a short video tonight just going through some pellet preparation to back up what we learned a few weeks back going over hybrid feeders and method feeders, etc., bomb fishing, and then hopefully in the next part of the video you'll actually see the kids put it into practice and hopefully catching a few fish. Right, hello everybody, nice to see you all back. A few weeks ago we went over hybrid feeder fishing, method feeder fishing, etc., bomb fishing. Can y'all remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm going to go through tonight is preparation of pellets, how to do the right method of pellets for what application you're going to use. Now there's two ways of doing your pellets. You want them a certain way for hybrid feeder fishing and a certain way of pole fishing, and then there's another way of doing them for method feeder fishing and deep water pole fishing. So I'm going to show you what to do and how to get the best product for what type of fishing you're going to be doing. Okay? We all know what pellets look like, don't we? Like pellets, like these. That's how you get them in the dry form, like that. Right, so one way of doing your pellets if you're going to be fishing a hybrid feeder, and I had this shown to me by a top sponsored angler, is to put the pellets in your container to however many you want and just put the water just smack up to the level of the pellets. Let them soak in, mix them around, and then how I've been shown to do it, the best way then is to put them in a bag like this on morning of your match. You can keep moving them about, keep them loose, but put some air in, and that allows the pellet to absorb all the water and expand. And these are some that I've done before we came over tonight. These are for hybrid feeder fishing and when you're pole fishing, but you just want to drop the pellets down in a small column down to where your soft duck pellet is, and I'll show you how they work in a few minutes. The other way of doing them is for when you're fishing a method feeder. Now with a method feeder, you need the pellets to be a lot firmer, i.e. so that when the feeder hits the water, if they were doing them that way, they would all blow off and they'd be all over your swim. So this way they need to stick to your feeder a lot better, so that on impact nothing or hardly anything should come off, and it should hopefully get to the bottom and then start breaking down naturally. The other way of using these for pole fishing as well is if you're on a deep swim and you don't want to drip them in a column because they'll spread out over as they go down. This way you can actually make little hard balls of pellets and you can cup them in, and they should get to the bottom just like a method feeder, and then it should break up near where your bait is. And I'll show you how all these work when we get to the tank. Okay? Everybody alright with that?
Yeah.
Good. Right, I'll do the method feeder ones first. So I've emptied them into there now, so if you're fishing, these are the sticky ones. So as you can see, they've got a nice dark colour. You can actually grab them and they'll go like that. but then should still all crumble up. So I've made some links up to show you, just to show how they actually work, and I'll just get a mould out for this to show you. Right kids, I've gone through how we prepare the pellets for hybrid feeder fishing and pole fishing dropping through a column. The way we prepare them for method feeder fishing is a little bit different and a bit quicker. Same again, we put the pellets into a container. Well, this is the way I do it. Put the pellets into a container and totally soak them. Flood them with water, give them a good stir around, leave them for about 30 seconds. But each pellet will differ, you might have to play about with it with a small batch first. And then what I do, I've got an old flour sieve. I put all the pellets into the sieve, shake all the excess water off, and then I just leave that on the bank while I'm getting the rest of my gear set up. You can also buy these pellet wetters where you put the pellets in, fill them with pellets, put it into a container with water, give them a good shake around for 30 seconds, lift it out, get every bit of water off. The main thing with method feeder fishing is that after its initial soak, you've got to get every bit of water off. It needs to be really sticky and firm so that you can really bind it together and it stays compact around that feeder when you drop it in. So that's the difference of preparing pellets for a hybrid and pellets for a method. And kids, method feeder, we always use a mould when we're doing these to get a nice, hard, compact, uniform shape to make it better for casting, and hopefully it should land intact. So the way to do it is to fill that up, firm them in, put another layer in and firm them in, and then at this point you would have an hook length on with a bait which would go into the centre, and that will squash into there, make it nice and tight, and then that should come out nice and neat like that, hopefully with your bait just under the surface. And then when that lands, it should get down to the bottom, and then it should start slowly peeling off and leave your bait in the centre, hopefully for them fish. Right, the other way is to fish the micro pellets with a hybrid feeder, and typical fashion, I've got another one set up here already, and I've actually got a hook length on this one with a small 5mm wafter. So if we load that up first, now there's different ways you can do this. Some people like to have the wafter right at the bottom so that it's visible as soon as it eats, and then other people prefer it to be under the pellets so that the fish comes in, drops down onto the pellets, and then accidentally sucks your bait in, and that's how you get the bites. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a small layer of pellets in to start with, and I'm going to drop that bait in like that to the centre. I'm then going to put a few pellets into the feeder itself to load that up a bit better. And then that goes over into the mould. And same again, just like with the method feeder, nice and tight. And then when that releases, you get a nice compact little ball of micros with your bait sat underneath. There's two ways of presenting that bait. You can either have it wafting about, or you can have it dead nailed into the centre of your bait. If you want to keep the bait centre, not moving about, there's two ways of doing it. It's either use a bigger wafter for the hook size, or scale down the size of your hook, and that'll help combat that wafter moving about. Or you could just put a sinking boilie on, something like that. So I'll drop these in the tank and let you look at them, how they work, and then I'll also show you a method feeder with ground bait on, and you can see how that dissolves and should leave a nice little pile. Okay, right guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop the method and the hybrid in just to show you how they both work when they're on the bottom. So this is the method. It's been on a while, but when that goes in, it should drop down like that. And now I'll drop the hybrid in with the wafter, and hopefully you'll be able to see how the wafter works once it's on the bottom. See the method there, look, even though there were a lot stickier pellets, they're still breaking down now because the air's getting into the little gaps and it's slowly breaking down. Now if that had a bait on, that bait will be sat central in there, and that's what the fish home in on, the wafting all the pellets up and eating all the little pellets, and then accidentally, 9 times out of 10, they get that little boilie or wafter in the mouth, and that's what hooks them. The hybrid feeder is a little bit slower at the moment, but it's got more of a body round it, so there's not as much air getting to it. But that's a nice little pile of bait now, where if you're on a commercial, carp will be homing in on that, and they'll be moving it about, they'll be nudging your feeder, you'll be getting little signs like that, and then that would leave your bait in the centre, which is going to get picked up. Hybrid's still a little bit slow, but you can just see by just moving it about, because obviously when you're on a lake you've got the tow, you've got the undercurrents which helps break it down. This is a still tank, so it's just simulating it. Taking some breaking down, that one. Wafter's disappeared. That one doesn't want to play. But while you're here, while we're waiting for that to pop out, I'm just going to show you the difference what these pellets can do as well with a cad pot. So the pellets for the method, for the hybrid feeder, sorry, the same pellets you can use on the pole, with a little pole like that when you're fishing in not so deep water. So you can basically put the pellets in and they're loose. You can go out to where you're fishing with your pole float and then tip that over, and when you just put that underneath, look, you should get a nice little column which will drop straight down to where you're fishing. So that's the pellets that have been soaked in an airbag to expand and swell, absorb as much water as possible. That can be used for method hybrid feeder fishing and drip feeding your pellets. And then on the other hand, the method feeder pellets, which are a lot firmer and stickier, you can again use for the pole, but you can make into little balls to get them directly down to where you're fishing. So difference there on that, if you see, you can go out and you can just drop the ball straight down to where you want to be. And that's in theory is doing the same thing as a method feeder. It's getting a hard little ball of pellets down, which when the air gets into it, it's going to start breaking down. Right lads, kids, as you can see, that method feeder is still slowly breaking down, but I failed to mention, I put a small wafter on that to counterbalance the hook. So that's doing, as I explained before, where some anglers prefer the bait to sit directly in the pile and not move about. This one, it's got the same hook length and hook on, but I've got a slightly bigger wafter, so hopefully this will show you the difference and sort of make you realise how the counterbalancing works. So we'll drop that in at the side of it and see if it plays for us. So same again, wait for that to break down, and hopefully, because it's a bigger wafter, that should sit up and just stand proud of the little pocket of food. You can see it's breaking down, look, and there. You see how that one's popped up, and that's just sat above the food, whereas that one actually sat in and stayed in the food. And that's to do with either putting a bigger wafter on or a smaller hook, and that's how you achieve that. Some days the white want it moving about, some days they'll want it nailed. A very famous Fishermania champion will always fish with it nailed. It will not use a wafter. Right kids, another way of fishing the method, if you don't want to use pellets, is ground bait. Some days they want ground bait and some days they want pellets. You don't know until you're actually fishing. Some days you might even mix them and have, say, 60% pellets, 40% ground bait, just to make a tighter mix and give them a bit of both. The ground bait stimulate them into feeding, and then the methods gives them actually something to get chewing on. So I've mixed a bit of ground bait up at home, hopefully it'll play ball. It's basically just some Sonny Bates match method, marine. So same again, like with the pellets, put some ground bait into the mould, firm it down, put some more in, firm that down, and then you put your method into the mould, exactly the same as we did with the pellets. Give it a really good squeeze and hopefully it'll come out. Yep. Ground bait can be very fiddly, it takes a bit of time getting the mix right, so I will drop this in now and just show you how the ground bait peels off and fizzes and bubbles. You can see already that it's starting to break down, it's fizzing, bubbling, you can see all the little air bubbles coming out. It's exactly the same way fishing with pellets, but it's just a different food. Not every fish want the same food day in, day out. Sometimes they like a change and you won't know until that day and they'll let you know which they prefer. You can see there that it's slowly breaking down and falling around the feeder. And same again, if that had had a pellet or a couple of dead red maggots or a wafter, that now would be getting exposed and hopefully would result in a bite. Right then kids, that's it for tonight. We've gone through the basics of preparing your micros, whether it's for pole fishing or feeder fishing, whether it's for hybrid feeders, method feeders, etc. You can always look online on YouTube, various sites, and get even more tips or any advantages. Hopefully we'll put it into practice this weekend. Look forward to seeing you all on Saturday, and we'll have a bit of coaching and a little match between you all. So I'll see you all on Saturday.
Hi guys, we're back at Wakefield Angling Club and with Gary, and he's going to tell you a little bit about part 2 of the video.
Hi everybody, welcome to Wakefield Angling Club. This is our final junior and cadets match for the year, part of our summer league. We will be having a 3-hour match, and then after the weigh-in we will be doing a full presentation and giving some prizes out, trophies, and we've got a good spread of food coming after for everybody to enjoy the party. Hope you all enjoy it. Right, everybody, thanks for coming again this year. It's only a second year. Hopefully you'll come back next year and we can build it even bigger. Getting some good anglers starting to shine now, so it's really nice to see. First of all, on to today's match. The Cadets, we have in third place with his best ever weight, Arthur with £4 10.5 ounces. In second place we have Eden with £4 6.5 ounces. And the winner on the day for the Cadets with a fantastic £5 7.5 goes to Ben. Right, on to the juniors. In third place today is Josh with £1.15. Second place is Owen with £2.10. And your winner today with £5.6 is Aidan. So we've done the points. So now we'll do the presentation. We'll start with the Cadets first. For turning up and putting his all in every week, I'd like to ask Arthur to come up for his medal. Well done, mate. And for every angler today, we have a goodie bag which has been kindly donated by Tackle and Bait at Doncaster. So I think we should give a big thanks to Tackle and Bait Doncaster for that. And everybody goes away today with a brand new Frenzy cap and a brand new Frenzy silverfish landing net. So at the end of it, if we could all have a photo outside with all your hats on, that'd be great. Right, the next person I would like to ask to come up is Polly Burke. Well done, Polly. Brilliant day today with a bit of help. Well done, Polly. Excellent today. Fantastic. Hope to see you a bit more next year. We have a tie for second place, and second place in the points gets a trophy. So because we've got a tie, I'm gonna have to get another trophy for one of you because we've got a tie. And the tie for second place is Eden Burke and Ben McKee. So same again, I have a goodie bag for both of you. Well done. And I'd just like to say, Eden, I'm pretty certain if she came more often, she would have walked the league. And she's going to be one to watch for definite. The last top female that came out of here was May Potter. And look at what she's gone to do. So I think Eden has got the potential. Well done, Ben. Absolutely brilliant today, mate. And both of you, a medal. Well done, I think. No, you're getting trophies. No, sorry, I think. Sorry, you'll get trophies, not medal. So one of you, you'll have to share that for now, and I'll get one of you another trophy to take home. So put it there, decide who wants to take it, and the other one I'll get another trophy. So it's up to you. Sort it out.
Fish off.
I'll get you another. I'll get Ben another one because I can drop it. Oh, can't actually live near me. So, right. The winner of the Cadets points is Aaron Capewell. He hasn't been able to come today because he's been to a wedding, but he was way out in front on points, so he's already received his trophies. He's got them on Tuesday. Right. On to the juniors. Connor Wadsworth. He's only been coming half of the year, but he gets better and better every year. And I can see a big improvement coming next year. Well done, mate. And You've already got your hat because it were raining. It's some headache, so that's your goodie bag, mate. Well done. Third place in juniors with 29 points, Owen Hopkinson. Well done, mate. And this is another star in making. He's actually fished a group above himself all year and he's held his own, so well done. Well done, mate. Right, we have a runner-up for the juniors with 32 points, Josh Mason. Well done, mate. And a new net and cap to go with ones you've already got, and a goodie bag. I've also slipped in the bags and all 3 or 4 sets of ready tie ducks from Matrix, which we got kindly donated by Craig Butterworth, I think his name is, Butterfield. Right, the winner of the juniors with 36 points, Aidan. Well done, mate. Excellent. And obviously a goodie bag for you, so well done, mate. Excellent. I've got one more trophy here. And this is for somebody who's excelled throughout the season, never given up, gets better and better all the time, and I can see huge potential from him, even at his young age. And this is for the best match weight we've had this year. And this goes to Owen with £17. Well done, mate. Come on, Josh. A nice new hat to keep you dry in rain. A goodie bag. And a medal, mate. Well done. So I'd just like to say thanks again to Tackle and Bait Doncaster for a fantastic donation. They're a little bit out of our way, but it's really appreciated that they've gone out of the way to provide all this for kids. So well done, Tackle and Bait. So that's this year's presentation done. We'll just wait for the food to come now and we can all tuck in. So well done, everybody.
Well done, Gary. Thank you.
Cheers, bud.
Gary, first.
Cheers.